middle of nowhere at a hunting.
You're welcome.
Have you ever worked with Jen Nelson or Mike Clark over there?
Good evening. I'd like to call to order, please, the Human Services Committee. If we could all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If we could please have the roll call.
Commissioner Angie,
Present.
Commissioner Torello,
Present.
Commissioner Samasco,
Present.
Commissioner Zeller,
Present.
Commissioner Rushing,
Here.
Commissioner Vandenbosch,
Here.
Commissioner Beeden.
Present. Are there any changes to the agenda? Hearing none, I'll accept a motion.
Make a motion to accept the agenda as presented.
Thank you. Support. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 3, citizens to be heard. We have quite a few this evening, so I'll do my best to tell you who is first and then who is up next so that you can get ready to come to the podium. The first one is David Hoffman and followed by Fred Fuller.
Thank you, Board, for allowing me to speak tonight. I am David Hoffman from Fort Gratiot. I'm also a pastor. Would you pray with me, please? Heavenly Father, we gather here today with gratitude for the opportunity to serve our community. We ask for your guidance as the Board of Commissioners meets to deliberate and make decisions that affect the lives of many. May your wisdom be bestowed upon each member, filling their hearts with compassion and clarity. Help them to listen to the voices of those they represent and to consider the needs of every individual in our community. Grant them the strength to seek justice and courage to make choices that foster unity and prosperity. Let their actions reflect integrity and accountability and inspire them to work diligently for the common good. As they face the challenges ahead, may they remain steadfast in their commitment to serve with righteousness and humility. Fill them with the spirit of cooperation and collaboration so that they can work together for solutions that uplift and empower. In your holy name we pray. Amen. And I have one other comment. William Crawford, American politician and judge, once said, being a student is easy. Learning requires actual work. I believe Dr. Nevin has done the actual work it takes to make our community a better place. Thank you very much for the time.
Fred Fuller, followed by David Allison.
Well, Board, I agree with what the pastor said, except for Dr. Nevin. I'm concerned that Dr. Nevin is really out of the mainstream with medical practitioners. He seems to be very against scientific opinion, well expressed and studied scientific opinion, a follower of Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and I'm concerned that he's going to use our county as a way to push his political agenda, and it's going to bring a lot of lawsuits against the county. There's already one lawsuit against the county over his opinions, and we're all going to have to pay for his fight with the Michigan Department of Public Health. And, he called all doctors radical Democrats and has made a lot of statements that really are out of line and not good for our public health department. You probably all are aware of what happened in Ottawa County when they tried to fire their public health director. And it appears to me that the current members' majority on the Advisory Health Board wants to advise the two positions, medical director and health officer, to be combined in order to move out Liz King and allow Dr. Nevin to take over control of the whole department. So I would like to see, and I'm asking that you appoint a range of people on the Advisory Health Board that aren't just followers of Dr. Nevin. We've been advised, I've been advised, I've heard that you can't really get rid of the health officer without just cause. And that is what the issue was in Ottawa County, and it could be here. It could also be a source of lawsuits. Plus lawsuits against his advice. I had a very difficult time trying to get a COVID vaccine for my son. I was told that he'd have to, even though he's got some at-risk conditions, I was told that he'd have to, because he's under 65, he'd have to bring a prescription from his doctor. We couldn't get it from his doctor. His doctor didn't have the vaccine at that time. He'd have to bring a prescription from his doctor, and then Dr. Nevin would have to approve of it. So,
Fred, I need you to,
pardon?
you get 3 minutes. Your 3 minutes are up, so I need to
Okay.
wrap it up.
Yep.
Thank you.
David Allison, followed by Angela Dufresne.
Good evening, Dave Allison from Canoga Township, lifelong resident of St. Clair County. I came here tonight to present my support for Paul Urban for the Health Advisory Board. And I've known Paul for a long time. He's a man of strong integrity. But more than that, he's a person that is a detail-oriented person. Being a person of a businessman, he understands accountability financially and services, and make sure that the services are provided as required. I much prefer someone who is fact-orientated than feelings-orientated. I think it benefits us all. I would like to feel that I'm right, but I'd much rather factually be found right, and that's what's important. A statement was just made about the health. United States, despite being per capita the most money spent, we're the least healthy nation when it comes to a nation of wealth. And I think that speaks poorly of our current medical system. And even though Paul Urban is not related to the medical system, he's a citizen. And I want someone on that board that represents my interests as a citizen, not just someone that's indoctrinated into the medical system. And unfortunately, it's my opinion that many of the medical professionals now are indoctrinated into a system that's failing, and they don't want to step up and recognize for what's really going on. So that's why I appreciate his ability to serve on the board. As I was thinking about Paul, Paul's been, another thing that he's very active in is accountability of governmental officials and offices, making sure that they uphold their oath of office, make sure they adhere to the Constitution. And because of that, he's considered a radical, a threat to our democracy. Well, I hate to explain to you, but we're not a democracy, we're a constitutional republic. And what Paul, thank you, and what Paul is trying to assure us is that we don't turn into a banana republic. So with that said, I want to thank the Board of Commissioners. From my perspective as a citizen of St. Clair County, I think you've done an excellent job of guiding and directing this county. You've had to make some tough decisions, and you've had to sometimes go against the flow. And that's not always easy, but I think you've made a lot of good decisions. I'm thankful. There's people on this board that I might not agree with in philosophy or opinion, but I'm open debate, and I appreciate that. And I like what, I'm going to finish with this. George Patton said, if we're all thinking the same, darn it, someone's not thinking.
Angela Dufresne, followed by Kevin Watkins.
Hello, thank you for giving us a chance to speak tonight. I just want to stand up here and show my support for some of the Advisory Board of Health Committee appointments. I'm really hoping that Dawn Falk, Stephen Smith, and Paul Urban are appointed to the Advisory Board of Health. I was a little disappointed to walk in tonight and, see the circus that was out there with negative signs. I also don't like some of the, I'll just call it rhetoric, that I'm hearing tonight in regards to Dr. Nevin. Dr. Nevin is an expert in public health. He spoke up for the community when we needed him to. That lawsuit is, they filed a lawsuit against us. It's not like we went looking for that. He was here to protect the residents. So I think it would be really nice if everybody could just settle down and deal with what we got to deal with as a county.
Kevin Watkins, followed by Monica Van Camp.
Kevin Watkins, Wells Township. Yeah, I'm praying to see some people at Masca, and be careful, and hopefully the next 40 to 72 hours is still well, because the flu epidemic is really widespread, and we have one of the worst years we had in a while. Remember during the pandemic, it was one of our lowest flu seasons ever. The reason why we had masks, people were washing their hands, and taking it serious. And I think we've gone backwards. So I'm really concerned, especially for the seniors and those who have comorbidities at risk. So I want to mention the health board. I applied for it to be reinstated. There's other good candidates there, but I am concerned in regards to the commissioners, putting people there that can really be helpful for the county. We can't stack the board with like-minded, all people thinking the same thing, to rubber stamp Dr. Nevin's agenda. You need a dissenting vote, or dissenting voice, which I have been, and you need someone to give the rest of the story, the other side of the story, and sometimes the facts, the truth of the story. And if you don't have those individuals on that board, if it's not me, please someone else that can do that. Otherwise, you're basically rubber stamping. And one thing I mentioned is that really appreciative to the commissioners that you realize that you need to empower your health board. You put us in place to make decisions, and Mr. Ken Hoverman did a wonderful job that we unanimously, we agreed to the letter they sent to you, let you know that you please take our advice. That's what we're there for. So now that you're doing that, you need to make sure you have people on that board that's going to give you good advice. And some of the things I mentioned, a lot of people don't like that, but Dr. Nevin, brilliant man, we know that. But that doesn't mean he's right. And he's not following all the science, and he's cherry picking the science and taking us down a rabbit hole, and the lawsuit is something real. And what happened in Ottawa County is something real. Be careful with trying to just remove Ms. King in her position. People fought hard to separate the positions. Now, please, at least give us a reason why you want to bring them back together, other than giving Dr. Nevin all this power so he can just sweep through and do what he wants to do, and then have a rubber stamping board. So please take that into consideration when you choose those positions that are up to move forward with the 2026 Health Advisory Board, because our health is at stake. And like I told you, all of you, when things go bad, look in the mirror. And that's the reason why they went bad, because you made the wrong decision. So please take it seriously, who we put in that board, and understand what's going on with all the shenanigans that's been going on, especially against me, so people can put who they want on that board. And remember the ones who decided, they made a choice to be in the board, decided to not come to have the health board flu because they didn't want to take a vote that was important. Thank you.
Martha Van Camp, followed by Diane Hewlett. Martha, followed by Diane Hewlett.
Hello, I'm Monica Van Camp from Clyde Township, Michigan. I just wanted to give my input on the 4 seats that need to be filled for our Health Advisory Board. I was born and raised here in St. Clair County. I've been a resident for over 40 years. I have 4 kids, and I'm a single mom, and I am low income. I noticed a sign out there that some of the protesters had talked about children losing their health care, but that is not true. My kids and I are able to have Medicaid, and we are able to have private health care just like everybody else. So we wouldn't go to the health department for my kids' regular health care needs. We have a regular doctor for that, thanks to the Medicaid. So the kids are not losing their health care regardless of what some of the information that has been going around. I would also like to take this time to recommend Dawn Falk. I know her personally. She is a retired nurse, and she is a veteran from the Air Force. I think that gives her a unique perspective. I like her. I think she is a decent lady. She agrees with my values. I'm a conservative. I think a lot of St. Clair County residents are conservatives. We have traditional values, and I would like to see my values represented on the Health Advisory Board. Also, I would definitely recommend Paul Urban. He's a family man. He has children, and some of his kids are in the same school as some of my kids. So I think he's a great guy, and he knows a lot of people in the county. He would accurately represent the county for us, so I hope you will select him. And then I think also Justine Schrader would be a good option because she has a medical background as a practitioner for people in this area. And she owns her own holistic business. So, and then also regarding the position for the community mental health, I think Anthony, the pastor of Crossroads, would be an excellent option. As pastors do a lot of counseling, they know a lot of people, and they have a heart for people. So I think he'd be a good choice. Thank you very much.
Diane Hewlett, followed by Vicki Blackburn.
Hi, I am Diane Hewlett from Riley. I just wanted to say that I am in full support of reinstating Dawn Falk. She does her homework, she's informed on many topics, and is prepared for the meetings. Also, Steve Smith, who is very quiet, yet is very respected member of the community and business owner, and he is very thoughtful in his opinions. As far as the new candidates, I am very familiar with Paul Urban. He also has my full support. I have taken his referendums and constitutional classes in 2023, as per the shirt. And he operates under the rule of law. He is a man of faith and integrity. He also owns his own business, yet he is a team player, in my opinion. Dr. Nevin, I am also in full support. As you know, I've spoken many times. Whether it's the fluoride, vaccines, solars, his infinite wisdom about current issues as well as the future. He has clarified, this is a point that I think many miss, he has clarified his position on restructuring and has brought the health department back into compliance versus the public versus primary care issue, which everyone is so upset about closing the clinics is because they are not supposed to be held in that area. And I do support combining the two positions together because Ms. King has, she has proved over and over that she has not tried to work against him. Her strategy has not worked so far, in my opinion. And if you are not aware of the email that she produced to only a few of the board members, she tried to silence him, asking that board to pause, and which would silence him as well as us. For those of you that are here for your very first meeting, that is great. Good for you. Yet I would ask you why. Because today marks the first year, 12 months, and 365 days that we have been living out these issues. I do want to ask this board to pray for them, to make your choice as people of faith, and I believe that you have made great decisions thus far, and so I want to thank you for letting me speak. Thank you.
Vicki Blackburn, followed by Carol Miller.
Hi, good evening. My name is Vicki Blackburn. This is a friendly and respectful reminder that Don Falk and Stephen Smith are disqualified from reappointment to this Health Advisory Board. They are both absent at the September 17th, 2025 meeting, in which there was no quorum. It was on the agenda. It was a critical meeting, a vital meeting. A lot was at stake. Our kids were at stake. Our health was at stake, and there was no quorum. As a result, they missed probably, and we couldn't have probably, one of the most important votes to ever be held in this room. At stake was a $180,000 grant that ended up being forfeited. Children were abandoned, and the county has been left in chaos. Fortunately, we have excellent candidates and applicants. I'm asking you to recognize when people do not do their job, when they are not moving the county forward, to be talking about things like bringing jobs here and building our community up and bringing people together. I'm asking you to disassemble the entire health board that we have right now. They're not doing their job. Dr. Nevin is not doing his job. And I know that he has a fan club. However, and I say that respectfully, however, our health is at stake. I do not want my health or my community's health to be decided by politics. And that's been going on from day one. It needs to stop. And now this Board of Commissioners is setting us up for many lawsuits. When confronted by citizens, one commissioner said, bring it on, really. And another commissioner said, they have their lawyers, we have our lawyers. That sentiment is unacceptable. You are wasting taxpayer money, you're courting lawsuits. We have solar, we have anti-vaccines, we have health, and we are not moving forward, we are moving backward. And the gentleman that talked about facts, I totally agree with him. And we have stacks of documentation about how this board and the Health Advisory Board are abdicating their responsibilities or duties in the health of our county.
Carol Miller. Carol Miller, followed by Rochelle Benelli.
Good evening, Commissioners. Tom, welcome to your new role. Thank you. You are already familiar with my recommendations for the Advisory Board of Health, and I believe some changes are necessary to ensure this board best serves the residents of our county. Specifically, I do not believe the continued appointment of Kevin Watkins is in the public's best interest. He has previously been reprimanded by this board, and concerns regarding his nursing license raise legitimate issues of public trust and accountability. For those reasons, I respectfully ask that he not be considered for reappointment. I strongly support the reappointment of Dr. Stephen Smith and Nurse Dawn Falk. Both consistently demonstrate preparedness, thoughtful research, and a genuine commitment to their responsibilities. Their participation reflects diligence and credibility, which are essential to this board's work. I also encourage your consideration of Justine Schrader. She's a highly regarded nurse practitioner who would be an asset to our county. Ms. Schrader has earned her role through experience and dedication, is well respected in the community, and is known for doing her research and contributing thoughtfully to discussion. Her clinical knowledge and practical approach would help move healthcare conversations forward in a productive and grounded way. Additionally, Paul Urban would bring valuable perspective to the board. As a local business owner who has consistently attended meetings and remained engaged in community issues, Mr. Urban demonstrates reliability and commitment. He brings a logical, solutions-oriented mindset, strong communication skills, and an informed understanding of environmental concerns, constitutional requirements, and the broader impacts of policy decisions. These qualities would serve the county well as public health issues continue to grow in complexity. Historically, the Advisory Board of Health operated quietly until COVID-related changes significantly expanded its responsibilities. Since then, issues such as vaccinations, data centers, solar development, fluoridation, and refocusing on the health department on core public health functions have raised the stakes considerably. The individuals I have recommended represent a capable, thoughtful, and forward-moving group prepared to meet these challenges. Regarding community mental health, I have spoken previously about the need for change, and I believe that need still exists. While continuity can be valuable, consistency without growth leads to stagnation. At a recent CMH meeting, I observed limited engagement, minimal dialogue, and a little change or discussion of agenda items. Mental health requires leadership that is engaged, responsive, and willing to speak up. Tenure alone should not outweigh effectiveness or accountability. After looking at the candidates, I believe Pastor Anthony Farrelly could bring a positive change for the CMH board. I wish you all the clarity and wisdom as you select individuals best positioned to serve our county with integrity, energy, and purpose. Thank you.
Rochelle Bonelli, followed by Lori Olford. Rochelle Bonelli. She's here. She's
the one with crutches.
yeah. She just needs a second.
Hi, I'm Rochelle Bonelli, and I live at 655 North Riverside Avenue in St. Clair. And I submitted my application for membership on the St. Clair County Health Advisory Board. As you know, I've spoken to you before. My experience in education and dedication to improve community health make me an excellent candidate. I have additional relevant experience as a prior business owner in this county, working with and under the jurisdiction of the health department, as I own two food service establishments in the late 80s and early into the 2000s. Additionally, I have some experience with community needs assessment and the community health improvement plans. I have personally been dedicated to maintaining healthy lifestyle, and I believe that everyone should have access to the knowledge, skills, services, and environment to maintain a healthy life. I retired from Gleaners Community Food Bank, where I was vice president of the programs. In addition to providing hundreds of thousands of healthy meals annually through our various programs, under my supervision, I was responsible for overseeing a large statewide nutrition education program. That nutrition education program provides low-income folks with the skills and knowledge needed to make healthier choices on a budget. We graduated thousands across the state annually through partnerships with healthcare, universities, nonprofits, pantries, and religious organizations. As the Vice President of Programs, in addition to demonstrating positive impact, I was responsible for a multi-million-dollar budget to run those programs. The CDC defines social determinants of health as those non-medical factors affecting health. It is the largest component of health in addition to access to medical services and genetics. Food insecurity is a major social determinant of health, and I dedicated the last half of my working life to address food insecurity. In addition, I've been an active volunteer for organizations dedicated to improving the lives of our less fortunate neighbors. The Health Advisory Board is fortunate to have representation from many in the medical field. I would submit that my food security, budgetary, food service background, and volunteer experience would complement the members and bring balance to the board. I would welcome the opportunity to serve as a member representing the district that I live in or as a member at large. Thank you for your consideration. Good night. Good luck with your decision.
Lori Olford, followed by Tracy Burgee.
Good evening. My name is Lori Olford. I'm a retired school social worker from the Port Huron Area Schools, teacher, and I'm a current president of the Port Huron Area School District Board of Education. I raised my son in this community and consider myself a community advocate. Tonight I speak on behalf of the families, primarily the children of St. Clair County. Having been a school social worker for over 20 years, I know firsthand what kind of needs and issues children experience when it comes to mental health and physical health. And I will take this opportunity to express my immense disappointment in the closing of the Teen Health Center in the western region of our county. There is absolutely no reason that that facility should have been closed. I believe it's true negligence on the part of our county's administration. Clearly, you haven't walked in the shoes of a teen who has no access to health services, the health services they desperately need. No transportation, no parental assistance, no monetary help, and now no support by the very people who are hired to provide it, the county health department. Given the current status of the health department leadership and advisory board and the months of inept and disgraceful decision-making, I believe it's time to rectify the path which has been taken. There must be a change in leadership and board who determines this path. Every healthy and well-balanced board should be comprised of members who reflect the community, representing the demographics, perspectives, and concerns of everyone. Board members are called to listen, to act on injustices that are witnessed, and make decisions that are in the best interest of those people they represent. I'm not speaking only about the Health Advisory Board, but also this Board of Commissioners. Now is the time to appoint new board members. Clearly, something has not been working. This is a mess. It's been a mess. And it's time for a change. We want people who will take action when they see injustices, those who will consider the future of our county and provide the children what they need. I come tonight and respectfully ask that you appoint Rochelle Bonelli, Joshua Chapman, and Kenneth Hevelman. They all bring years of experience in public organizations, in mental health services. Witnessing their work and involvement in our community, I believe that these candidates exemplify the qualities needed to create the healthy and functional
I need you
health
to wrap it up.
advisory board
3 minutes. That's all you
that the
get.
families in our county deserve. Thank you.
Tracy Burgee, followed by Linda Howard.
Hello, my name is Tracy Berge. My address is 1900 O'Reilly. I live in Marysville. I have been a St. Clair County resident my whole life. I love where I live. I am married, I have children. I have brought them here, and I know that this is where I want to raise my kids. And this is where we want to come as people and to respect what is coming together with this board. I see you have so many people that want to come in and volunteer and be part of this board, and I am so grateful that so many people have come forward. I know that sometimes we've had spots where no one wants to volunteer, and I feel like that is a good thing, that people want to be engaged. As I watched this last year, I've been at the health board meetings, I've been watching, and there clearly is a disconnect. But you know what? You have the opportunity to bring the people a good board that will represent all the people here. Statistics say that some of these smaller communities that we should reflect that. You have the opportunity to give us a board that reflects the people of St. Clair County. We are about 84% conservative. I think that to disenfranchise the people that are Christian people or conservatives to me, is a poor representation of our county. We need people here that will say, oh my gosh, I can relate to that. These are our children. I would never come up here and say, oh my gosh, let's just throw it to the wind and here we are. But you know what, that's really not true. We have people, I want you to represent our values. I want you to say, these people, they want medical autonomy. They want to be left alone, and they want to be able to choose one way or the other. You know, that's our rights. So I just wanted to say that I would prayerfully hope that you could come together with putting together a board that represents the people here, our values. Dawn Falk, she has worked tirelessly in the last couple of years. I watched her be a research magnet. She looks for all kinds of information just to back up all these statements. Is this true or is this not? She's a retired nurse. She's a wonderful woman. Steve Smith, who is a chiropractor that works on the board, he gives tirelessly. Paul Urban, a businessman, a Christian father. And then Justine Schrader. She is a woman who's a nurse practitioner who has a love for the people and wants to represent. And then for the Community Mental Health Board, Pastor Anthony Farrell. You know, he is a man who has counseled people in positive and very negative times. The Community Mental Health Board, they need someone that's going to pray over those people and truly bring a connection for all of us. I just prayerfully hope that you take some time and consider these people, that they represent what we look like in St. Clair County, all right? Thank you.
Linda Howard, followed by Marie Zacharias.
Hi, my name is Linda Howard, and I'm a St. Clair County community resident. My husband and I and our 3 children have lived in St. Clair County most of our lives. My husband and I and all of our children have gone to the school systems here in the Port Huron area and have all graduated from this area, so it's very near and dear to our hearts. I would like to ask the board to consider 4 people that I have researched and feel that they follow our values, that as a person that's lived here for a very long time, would like them, they will give us and give the information to the county and what we need, and they will follow the values that my family has followed for years, as well as the majority of the community in the St. Clair County. So those 4 people are Dawn Falk, Steve Smith, Paul Urban, Justine Schroeder. They all 4 represent the values that we hold dear, and we would hope that you would consider them to continue what we want this community to be for the future of our families. Thank you.
Marie Zacharias, followed by, this is my least favorite part, pronouncing last names, Kim Scheibel? Scheibly.
Commissioners, would you please consider the reappointment of Dawn Falk and Steve Smith? And we're asking for Paul Urban and Justine Schrader as well for the Health Board. And also, if you would consider Anthony Farrell for the mental health. Thank you.
Kim Scheibly, followed by Anthony Farrell.
Hello, I'm a lifelong St. Clair County resident as well, lived in Fort Gratiot now for 47 years. I am asking this board to please consider listening to what, as they've said, have gone on for months and months and months. There was no decision ever promoted to the board for the Board of Health Advisory Commission with regard to closing the school health services. So you guys just let it drop, which that goes back to the Health Advisory Board. And so I feel there was negligence in that. It seems like every time you turn around, there's someone talking about another lawsuit that's going to be filed against the county because of something that Dr. Nevins has said, done, or promoted. The lady mentioned values of the residents. I'm not sure what values she's speaking about. my values are to follow science, follow what the majority of the state health department has stated we need to do as a community. And that's not what Dr. Nevins is promoting. And I don't think that that's what we want to promote here. With regard to the mental health board, I would like to say that I would support Dorothy Yope, who is a resident of St. Clair County. I don't know her personally, but from her qualifications that were put out, she's a master's in counseling and special education. She's a professional counselor. She has volunteered with Sacred Heart Rehabilitation Center, and she has a strong commitment to counseling students and helping individuals in recovery. So to me, that sounds like a perfect candidate, and I know that the Blue Water Indivisible also supports her candidacy. I would ask you, it seems as if it's come down to religious feelings versus liberal feelings. Maybe I'm probably not using the correct decision, which I don't think we should do that. I don't think we should be pushing our own personal religious feelings onto anybody else. So I would ask you to please make your decisions based upon the best candidates, not who they may follow religiously or politically. Thank you.
Anthony Farrell, followed by Jim Frank. Anthony, followed by Jim Frank.
Members of the St. Clair County Board, Commissioners, thank you for allowing me to speak this evening. My name is Anthony Farrell, pastor, and I'm seeking the appointment to the St. Clair County Community Health Authority Board. As a pastor and as a hospice chaplain for decades, since 1994, I believe I bring a unique perspective of compassion, empathy, and deep commitment to serving everyone in our community, regardless of faith or background. In my daily roles, I serve on the front lines as a listener and a counselor. I offer emotional, spiritual support that fosters hope, resilience, dignity, and recovery, directly aligning with the core mission of the community mental health mission statement, which is providing opportunities for health, wellness, and connection. I've served individuals in many faiths or no faith at all, always meeting them where they are with respect and tailored support. I speak from personal experience too, having battled and overcome depression myself, which has deepened my understanding for the marginalized of those our society too often overlooks. A key reason I'm seeking this appointment is to strengthen the integration of faith-based options in our mental health services as explicitly protected under the Michigan Compiled Law Section 330.1704 of the Mental Health Code. This section guarantees that recipients have the right to treatment by spiritual means when requested. Acknowledging that true healing can include or does include faith, prayer, and spiritual guidance alongside of clinical care. Yet in practice, those options are sometimes overlooked, creating a gap in truly inclusive, person-centered care that fully supports health and wellness and connection. My appointment would help ensure the vital legal right is actively upheld and woven into our services while representing the people of faith and religious backgrounds, one of our most overlooked communities. The commitment to compassion, the whole person of centered care echoes the words of Jesus in Matthew 11:28. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Thank you for your consideration.
Jim Frank, followed by Eileen Tesh.
Good evening, Board. My name is Jim Frank. I'm from Birchville Township. And there are a lot of excellent candidates if you look through the board agenda. And a number of them have already spoken here this evening, but a number of them have not. And I would tend to agree that the thing that we should be considering when we're considering appointments to the Community Mental Health Board and to the Health Advisory Board is this question. And I think this question has been obscured over the last year because of a number of interests that lie outside of St. Clair County. And that's the public interest. When we're talking about public interest, we're talking about how these individuals on these boards are going to be serving our community members and residents of the county, and whether or not they're meeting those individuals and helping them with the healthcare issues that they are confronting. We have a lot of people in this county who are going to be affected by Project 2025, which is going to be gutting Medicare over the next 10 years, which is going to be reducing ACA subsidies, which is going to also be affecting things such as vaccines that are recommended by the CDC. The HHS has also been taking some very dubious positions in regard to healthcare. Now, what we need is we need to take into consideration what the public interest is. And the public interest in St. Clair County for our health department is a community that's healthier, a community that has access to vaccines. To think for a moment, the single greatest public health innovation of the last 150 years are vaccines, and how they have prevented diseases like smallpox and polio from decimating primarily our children, but also ourselves. So public interest means that if we have a healthy community, meaning that those people who are unable to access healthcare because of resources that don't allow them to carry insurance, to afford to pay to see doctors, has been denied them, then we are not going to be healthy as a community. And as a result, when we think about the fact that this clinic in Yale has been denied, $180,000 has been sent back to the state, we have actions that are being taken that are not in the public's interest, and that should be the primary consideration when you go through and you look at the qualifications of the people who hope to serve on these particular boards. There are at least 4 members who have provided you with very detailed and very interesting resumes that I think you ought to pay attention to as you make these decisions and as you work in the public's interest and preserve the health of citizens in St. Clair County. Thank you.
Eileen Tesh, followed by Justine Schrader. Eileen, followed by Justine Schrader.
Eileen Tesh. We just met on Monday, the St. Clair County GOP. There is the Election Integrity Committee. And with that committee doesn't only come free and secure elections, but also accountability for our elected officials. Officials that are not representing our values. And I'll give you a clue of what our values are. When it comes to individuals, it means integrity, accountability, respect, morality, no lying, cheating, or stealing, to make it clear. When it comes to government, our values are less government, less taxes, and less interference in individual lives. Those are our values and principles. Those are the platform that the GOP, St. Clair County GOP, stands on. I'm not for labels. I don't care if you have an R after your name, a D after your name, an I, or question mark, or whatever. If you don't represent our values and our principles, we will recall you. We will remove you. We are going to pass a resolution soon that all elected officials if they are not representing us the way they promised when they came for our support, when they came to the meetings looking for our votes. Having said that, I would like to endorse Paul Urban. I'm not going to go through, everybody has spoken about support for Paul Urban, a father, husband, business owner, teacher, constitutional scholar, but the amount of hours he has invested of his own time away from his family to teach us about our constitutional rights and how to use them. And let us not forget what happened with COVID. When people ask me, what happened to our elected officials? They're not representing us anymore. And I said, we have no one to blame but ourselves. And that's what happened during COVID. All these mandates and closing the small businesses. And that's why I am supporting Paul Urban and Justine Schrader, because they are still standing, even though many of the small businesses never reopened. Dr. Stephen Smith and Dawn Falk, I believe, have earned reappointment. And Anthony Farrell, when it was critical, when there was a data center being built or proposed right next to his church and next to his school, within less than a day's notice, he was at the township meeting, and he has never taken his foot off the pedal. And we need more pastors like that. Thank you.
Justine Schrader, followed by Mary Lou Kramer.
Hello, I'm Justine Schrader, and I have applied to serve within the Health Advisory Board. I just want to introduce myself once more. Particularly, I have respect for Ms. Beaton, who couldn't be with us in December. Glad to see that you're doing well. Hope your family is doing well as also. I will try to keep this brief. However, this is essentially a recap of my previous introduction to allow you to consider if I may be a qualified or desirable candidate for the role within the Health Advisory Board. I'm a nurse practitioner with experience in primary care for adolescents, adults, and the senior population. And I also work in medical aesthetics and treatments for wellness. Prior to becoming a nurse practitioner in 2015, I was a registered nurse, working in surgery as a circulator and a scrub tech, meaning I was up to my elbows in your belly. Blood, gore, the whole thing. Also worked in the emergency room, the intensive care unit at Port Huron Hospital, now McLaren, as well as Lakeshore Surgery Center. While seeking my RN degree, at SC4, I was co-chair of the ADN Nursing Committee in 2009 and 10. Additionally, I was representative for the ADN Student Nursing Faculty Advisory Committee at SC4 during that same period. Upon completion of my ADN, I immediately began attending U of M to acquire my BSN. Immediately thereafter, I was fortunate enough to be a recipient of a federal grant to attend U of M Flint to become a nurse practitioner, which is awarded based on academic achievement and experience. I'm also a member of the American Association of Nurse Practitioners. Presently, working again in medical aesthetics and wellness treatments as a provider. Previously, working in primary care in Yale and in Port Huron. I'm also a local business owner since 2021, and that's going well. Worked with National Diagnostic Services from 2015 until the beginning of 2025, where I would provide health assessments for various companies throughout Michigan, as well as fire department members. The reason that I want to serve is basically regarding a community impact. Community impact regarding local health issues, inappropriate education, I believe a background, which includes knowledge of health-related research and healthcare practice is essential when considering health concerns and policy within our community. I'd like to have the opportunity to share my knowledge in health-related field and as a business owner, which may help guide decisions based on evidence and best practices, which in turn...
Justine, you need to finish it up. You get 3 minutes.
All right. potentially influence policy. And finally, to advocate for appropriate resources and programs that support health equity and access to care for underserved populations. Thank you very much.
Mary Lou Kramer, followed by Jean McKay. So close.
We're not going to have a fight over who goes first. So, good evening, Commissioners. Thank you for this time. And I must tell you that it is really a treat to be standing up here after 35 years of not being able to stand up here, but sitting in rooms with you folks. I would like to strongly recommend Rochelle Benelli for the Board of Health. I've known Rochelle since she came to town, since she opened the restaurant. She's a wonderful person. She cares about the community, and she actually is focusing on things that we need to focus on more, and that is the health and the food we put in our bodies and our children's bodies. So I would really like to recommend her. And I would also like to recommend, for the two at large, I'd like to recommend Josh Chapman. I've known Joshua since he was a child. I've known his family since I was a young girl. And I am so impressed with the young man that he has become. He has grown up in this community. He has attended our public schools. And what he's doing at the Y is second to none. We probably have one of the best YMCAs in the state of Michigan today because of Josh. He also serves on the school board, Port Huron Area School Board, and he cares about our youth. He cares about health, and he cares about the people. So I would like to recommend him. I would also ask that you retain Kevin Watkins, because Kevin is actually one of the most educated people in the medical field that we have on that board. He knows his stuff. I've served with Kevin on the Blue Water Immunization Project Board, and I've always been amazed that Kevin has been able to come through and help us with things when we were running into situations and that. And, you know, I have to tell you that I am not in favor of Dr. Nevin. And as I said, I serve on the Blue Water Immunization Project Board. And you may have noticed that we didn't have one flu clinic or COVID clinic this year, which we've been doing for 5 years. Why? Because Dr. Nevin wouldn't give us the vaccines and work with us or allow the health department to work with us. So to me, that's just putting our community at risk. And this is a community I've lived in my entire life. My family goes back to way into the early 1800s in this community. And I'm the third graduate of Port Huron schools in my family. I'm the third graduate of St. Clair County Community College in my family. And this community is my home. And I have been very active in things. And I have to say, I agree with Ms. Tesh.
You need to wrap it up, please. 3 minutes.
Okay. You represent us, and if you don't do your job, we'll be coming for you. So, thank you.
Jean McKay, followed by John Reed.
Hello, I'm Jeannie McKay from Marysville, and I want to share a personal story that happened during December that really made me reflect on how much I value science and how I'd been ignoring it and learned what a mistake I'd made. Though I received the 2 original COVID immunizations when the vaccine first became available, I was arrogant and foolish enough to neglect getting the yearly boosters. I'm very healthy, and in 2022, when I contracted COVID, it was so mild that it was like experiencing a minor cold, and it was no big deal. My attitude was that I probably wouldn't get it again, but if so, it would again be no big deal.
This December, I came down with what I thought was a mild cold and never gave COVID a thought. On the second day of my symptoms, I went to my usual volunteering, but later, afterwards, experienced other symptoms that I don't have with a cold. My home test was positive. I had exposed several people in our close quarters. One of these was a friend whose husband has serious health issues. Another friend contracted COVID. She had a serious reaction to her second shot during the original rollout, and so did not get boosters for her own safety. She infected her husband, and they spent their holidays in isolation for the safety of their families. Her husband could not go to work, creating another hardship. Prior to the day when I developed symptoms, but was probably infectious, I had visited my 92-year-old mother at Marwood Nursing Home, which is full of vulnerable people. This visit could have potentially infected her and others, which would have resulted in her pod being locked down. The last thing that the elderly need is illness and isolation. It took this experience and its ramifications and potential ramifications to wake me up and realize that though I trust and value science, I had better start acting like it. It's selfish and irresponsible to do otherwise. We definitely need a health department that follows peer-reviewed science, stresses the importance of vaccinations, and strongly advocates this to our community, because there are many more like me who do not take this seriously enough.
Wrap it up.
Which I now do.
John Reed, followed by Dr. Catherine Albrecht. John Reed, followed by Dr. Catherine Albrecht.
Yes, I'm John Reed. I live in Fort Gratiot. I took the COVID vaccine in March of 20 when they first available. I've taken every booster that's come along, sometimes every 6 months. And I've been out in the public and doing public things and working with people in the public, and I have never had COVID. I also took kept the flu shots up, and I used to get flus on a fairly regular basis. I don't anymore. Now, vaccines don't work for everybody. I took it before I was infected, or before I could have been, obviously before I was infected. And it is 98% effective. I'm here tonight to support Rochelle, Josh, and Ken for the health department in reviewing the resumes that are available through the county. They have outstanding experience, and I believe that they would be the best for the health committee. Thank you.
Dr. Catherine Albrecht, followed by Kathleen Grantham.
Hello, good evening. My name is Dr. Catherine Albrecht. I am a member of the CMH board and was appointed in March and have been attending those meetings faithfully for 9 months now. I am speaking on behalf of Pastor Anthony Farrell. He is the pastor of my church, so I know him actually quite well. But I know him not only from that perspective, I also know him from the fight that our church waged against the data center that was going to go in next door, and next door also to Pine River Elementary. So that was a $500 million project that would have taken up more than 100 times of the power consumed in China Township, all of the homes and businesses combined. And Pastor Anthony, I knew because I actually met with him for counseling when I first moved to this area a number of years ago, and he helped me personally a great deal. But I did not see that side of Pastor Anthony until the data center came. And since that time, which was September 16th of 2024, I have seen, to my astonishment, just amazing things that he has done. We have met with Senator Bill Hardeman from the Office of Faith Engagement. We have met with commissioners. We have been involved with the Office of Faith on the White House level and are part of a national organization there. I have just seen him stepping up in the intersection between faith and government. And as an academic, I hold a doctorate in psychology from Harvard University. And as an academic, I want to address the concern that was raised about religion and mental health. That is the hot topic. I would urge anyone out there to take a look at what is being done right now in that field. They're finding that religion and mental health not only aren't incompatible, they go together. There is a big conference in March at Harvard where academics from all over the world will be gathering to talk about that. There's another one at Duke University in August, 5 days worth of content. So I urge you to take a look at that information. It's very relevant. And as Pastor Anthony pointed out, it is actually required by CMH that that be provided. Currently, there's no one really to provide it. So I want to put in a vote for him. I also want to speak on behalf of Dawn Falk, registered nurse, and regarding the meeting on September 17th, she has never missed a meeting in 2.5 years. She has perfect attendance. And for that meeting, she actually asked Liz King to excuse her because she had a prior very important commitment. And Dr. Stephen Smith's first grandchild was born that day, so he was there with his daughter as she was giving birth. He also otherwise has perfect attendance. Thank you very much.
Kathleen Grantham, followed by Andrew Eberly.
An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Public health initiatives that are aimed at prevention are a huge benefit over treating the symptom. Last year, my community lost out on our share of $180,000 in funds that would have provided access to a health clinic for our children. This would have provided one more way to ensure our community had better access to preventative care in the form of vaccinations and health screenings and mental health services. Our community also lost out on funds that would have helped provide education and safe storage for marijuana products and provide lock boxes to prevent accidental ingestion of marijuana. These are the types of initiatives that benefit the community as a whole through prevention, without judgment or bias. Those who choose to use the services should have the option to do so. We should not be refusing or returning money that benefits our public health as a whole. It was asked, why now? Why are we showing up after others have been dealing with these issues for a year? Because I was busy and I was blind. I thought that all members of my community were being advocated for. We need members who have worked with and supported many different members of our community. I am not ashamed to be here now, and no one else should be either. My voice matters, and so does yours. Our community needs members of the health board who see and work with many different people in the community. I urge you to appoint Rochelle Benelli, due to her experience with healthy food access and nutrition education, Adrian Luckenbacher, due to her experience with mental health care, Josh Chapman, due to his experience working with the YMCA and the Port Huron Area School District Board, and Ken Huvelman, due to his experience with mental health care and substance use disorders. All of these initiatives are very important, not just one single symptom. Thank you.
Andrew Eberly, followed by Liz Somerville. Andrew, followed by Liz Somerville.
Good evening. My name is Andrew Eberly, and I reside in Columbus Township. A couple months ago, I appeared to the Board of Health Commissioners meeting to report on what we were going through and to ask for their assistance. My two sons were removed from Armada High School because the health department at the state level, MDHHS, believes that they can dictate which students can and cannot attend school, whether they are healthy or not. Some of the rules that they instituted in 2015, we got crossways with, and I did not feel comfortable registering our health information at the public health department. And so the state health department has basically mandated that my children cannot attend school. So this is in Armada School. We did a school of choice at Armada School District. And so Dr. Nevin, many hours on his own time, has been analyzing the situation, analyzed the rules, analyzed state law. He issued to the Board of Health Commissioners meeting in April, I believe it was a 36-page memo. So I hear a lot of people say, follow the science. If you've read one of Dr. Nevin's long memos, I feel like you should earn some college credit. So very competent man, but also very humble man. How can a citizen have access to the local health department's medical director and have him go to bat and analyze that situation? So I just wanted to say that I appeared and offered public comment at 2 months' worth of the Board of Health Commissioners meeting, and the St. Clair County Board of Health opted to try and find a way to help us in our situation, and it's still pending. It's getting kind of crossways between who's in charge, who has jurisdiction, residential or school. Is it the St. Clair County or the Macomb County? I don't know. Still pending. But I just wanted to offer testimony to you here tonight, just how much Dr. Nevin has put into my personal situation as a resident, but also the amount of time that he spends trying to do the right thing, even when policy might be crossways of what the right thing is. And so that's my personal experience as he's been attempting to try, and the current Board of Health as well, the commissioners that are currently there. We came into the next one, and several of them recognized me from the way before, call me by name. So I just wanted to tell you my experience. So thank you.
Liz Somerville, followed by Libby Prill. Liz, followed by Libby Prill.
Good evening. How lucky are we to have so many people who care about our community? This is amazing. I think that from when I first started coming to these to now, it is amazing how many people want to show up for everybody. So everybody give yourself a pat on the back because it's amazing. I want to come here tonight and ask to reappoint Dawn Falk. She represents our community. She has done tireless research. She has been a joy to be able to work with. If you have questions of her, she makes herself available. Many people on the board have been fantastic. I also want to ask that Paul Urban be appointed. I've had personal work with the man. The man has a work ethic like you would not believe. He will go over something and go over something again and go over something again. If he doesn't understand it, he'll find someone who will explain it to him. There's no one that I know that would represent us better than him on the board. He is a passionate person who will probably be going places at some point, but we're so very blessed to have him in the community. I do agree, though, that we do need to have representation across the board, so I hope that you hear my voice. Oh, and Dr. Nevin, thank you so much for giving us a voice and not making us feel so very alone in all the stuff that has happened to us. So, thank you very much.
Libby Prill, followed by Suzanne Ingalls.
Happy New Year. First thing I want to address is, it's been a year, and we've been listening really to the same lies. kind of bandied about back and forth. I just want to clarify, there's been a lot of very disparaging things said about John Falk and Dr. Steed. Liz King was notified that they would not be able to attend that meeting, and they did, in fact, Dawn did, request that that meeting be rescheduled to ensure that they could all attend, and that was denied. I don't think anybody would reasonably expect a doctor to miss the birth of his, I'm not sure if that was Steve's first grandchild or what, but would not expect you to miss that birth. So this keeps getting repeated. I saw it on social media again yesterday. It's not true. The other thing I saw on social media was that I guess a group of you have kind of formed some kind of group, and that you are opposed to having anyone from Crossroads Community Church, anyone who is a Christian, apparently, you believe in whatever you want to call it, the Christian right or Christian nationalism or whatever. But I ask this question, who better to steward a community than people who believe that they are their brother's keeper? And I'm just appalled that we have this type of bias out in St. Clair County. So what now, we don't trust Christians. I guess that means we can't trust Jews or Muslims. We're all the people of the book. So I guess we have to discount that as well. I think that that's really terrible. I think that we have to look at people as individuals. We look at their values, how their values will serve. Are they unbiased? Are they intelligent? So, in my opinion, I am here to support tonight, of course, Dawn Falk, who has an impeccable nursing record, has not been censored, has not had her license suspended. She has a record of excellence. The same with Dr. Steve. I'm also here to support Paul Urban, who is an absolute scholar. He has 2 degrees in science. He is like our local constitutionalist. And given the problems that we had with 2 particular members on the Health Advisory Board who just do not understand the concept of the Open Meetings Act or Robert's Rules, we need someone who understands both the Constitution, Robert's Rules, and science. I am also recommending Mrs. Schrader. The holistic approach, I think, is something that would really be a benefit to that committee. And I absolutely recommend Pastor Anthony. I am not a part of his church. I am a Catholic. I attend Catholic church, but I have worked with Pastor Anthony on other issues in the community.
You need to wrap it up, please.
Thank you. He is a brilliant, unbiased man and one of the most qualified people in this room.
Wrap it up, please.
To
Everybody
counsel.
gets 3 minutes.
I know. Thank you.
Susan Ingalls, followed by Sage.
My name is Susan Ingalls. I'm Birchville Township, and I'm going to talk about something that's personal to me. Vaccinations. My kids, I shouldn't call them kids because they're in their mid-40s, late 30s, but they have all the immunizations, but the 2 that wasn't available for them was meningitis and chickenpox, which are available now for my grandkids. Anyways, my oldest was 3 years old. He contacted meningitis, and the only way to tell if it was viral or bacterial was to get the spinal fluid. So can you imagine a little 3-year-old and 3 nurses holding him down, and this big, long, curved needle goes up into his back so he can get the spinal fluid, and this blood-curdling scream, and here I am crying my eyes out because there's nothing I can do about it. And then I've got 4 kids. And then number 3, they all get chickenpox. But the 3rd child gets it really bad. His fever just does not break for like 2 or 3 days. And so I have to constantly, set the alarm to give him his medicine, to give him baths. And he's so delirious and his eyes are all glassy. And I'm going, I think I need to take my child up to the hospital because he is so sick and I don't know what else to do. So vaccines work. My grandkids don't have didn't have chickenpox. My kids didn't have measles. I had measles and mumps. So I just want somebody in there on this advisory board that believes in vaccines, and they do work. And the ones, now I gotta look at my phone, because I went on your site and I read up on them. And I would say, well, the one I've worked with quite a bit is Josh Appman from the YMCA. Definitely him working with the youth. And then Rochelle Bonelli, especially with the community food banks, and Ken Hubelman, just because of his counseling. So I would appreciate you guys' input and vote for them. Thank you.
Sage, followed by Jay Wetzel. Sage, followed by Jay Wetzel.
I am Sage Grantham, a 16-year-old student from Yale who the board dropped the ball on our clinic and gave away an $1,800,000 grant for, and part of the Blue Water Indivisible group who holds absolutely no bias, Christian or not. I want to make that very clear. I want to urge the board to remember that one side of these arguments will never explain the experiences of the entirety. To say that children aren't losing access to health care is to assume that your experience is everyone's. I have heard many people tonight talk of faith in regard to health care. Now stay with me. This might ruffle a couple feathers, but I want you to listen, okay? Because I'm here. Many people tonight have talked about faith in regard to health care. I'm religious. I might not be the same kind of religious as you. And that's okay, but I want you to know that I share the same love for my religion. I do love my faith, but I ask all of you to remember that the physical should always come before the spiritual. To remember that the health clinic in Yale was taken, and that was just the beginning. I urge you to think of who you would want to see who aligns with scientific fact, who aligns with the public interest of health, not just religion, but health. It does not matter to me what religion they are from. It matters to me that they have our best interests in heart in regards to our health. This is why I think that the board should appoint candidates like Rochelle Bonelli for her understanding of nutrition, Adrian Luckenbacker for her mental health work, and Ken Hevelman for his understanding of substance abuse. Thank you very much.
Jay Wetzel. Jay Wetzel, followed by Catherine Fertakis? Fertragus.
Good evening. Thank you for this opportunity to speak. I am a precinct delegate for Port Huron for the past year and hopefully Fort Gratiot for the coming year, and have been a resident of St. Clair County for 7 years. However, my family goes back about 60 years here in Birchville. I also have about 35 years working in healthcare finance for the Detroit Medical Center and United Health Group Health Plan. So I have a whole lot of experience with rural health clinics and primary care and hospitals and basically all types of health facilities and services. And I would just like to ask you please to consider the following candidates that I feel have helped the Health Advisory Committee do an outstanding job in representing our community and our people here in our county. Paul Urban, Justine Schrader, Donna Folk, and Stephen Smith. I'd like to also express Christian values and a role of Pastor Anthony with the mental health. My husband and I also have many years of experience with developmentally handicapped family members and friends and foster children. We've volunteered with foster children camp and so forth, and we do feel that it would be great for them to be in partnership. The Christian values and mental counseling and mental health. And then also, I don't have a whole lot of experience, but I just would like to ask for your consideration too. in representing our political values in the area and having represented for a short time now the school board meetings and committee for the GOP here in St. Clair County, I'm not sure that Josh Chapman represents our values that are needed for the Christian community here, which from what I hear, I didn't realize it was 80-some%, but that's a huge representation of our community of conservative and Christian values. So thank you for your time and your consideration and for the opportunity to speak tonight. Thank you.
Catherine Fortragus. Well, that was the last one. Oh, Jay Wetzel. Is Jay still here? Thank you. That was Catherine. Yeah, thank you. You're welcome.
Hello, I'm Jay Wetzel from St. Clair County. I am one of the candidates for the Health Advisory Board, but that's not why I'm up here today. I'm up here to put my support behind Anthony Farrell. I've known the gentleman for over 8 years. He's very compassionate. He will do the right thing. He's not going to care what religion somebody is or if they're not. I've seen him deal with so many different people. He has a heart for service to the community. He has a love for the community, and he will do what's right, not what's political. That's it. Thank you.
Sean Treadaway, followed by Paul Urban. Sean Treadaway, followed by Paul Urban, excuse me.
Sean Treadaway, St. Clair County, thank you for letting me speak tonight. I'll echo the sentiment of this is great. What a wonderful experience we can have as a county. But what I've noticed tonight, and I followed along for quite a while, I was very active during COVID, watched, listened, ended up running for office. But what I noticed tonight is when you hear the names Urban or Farrell or I'm drawing a blank, hold on. Don Falk. The people supporting them have positive messages. When you hear the other names, they have negative messages, and they have attacks against you. They have attacks against our medical director. Just doesn't seem very friendly. We heard that the breakdown of the county is about 80-20. So again, we're at an 80-20 type of decision. The board's a little bit more of the 90-10 maybe, but still kind of diversified. But I ask that you listen to the words of everyone tonight. Look at the words that are angry, hateful, nasty, and look who they support. And then look to the people that are nice and open and my point exactly, thank you. So just making a point. And then there were, I think, 3, possibly 4 of the candidates that spoke tonight. The 3 out of the 4 spoke very well. I believe, I'm not a doctor. I, just stayed in a Holiday Inn last night. But I believe that they spoke eloquently and very good. But yet one of the candidates who continues to have issues, not only with this board, but the Health Advisory Board in the community, was negative and threatful as usual. So please take that into consideration, and thank you.
Paul Urban. Paul Urban.
Good evening, Board. Before I start, thank you for all the comments. I appreciate everybody coming out. Even if you're critical of me or don't know me, I still appreciate you coming out and saying what you need to say. My name is Paul Urban, and I would like to take a moment to express my gratitude for considering my application to the St. Clair County Advisory Board. I appreciate the opportunity to potentially join this important board that serves our community. Before I get into some brief information about myself, I wanted to share some things that I personally believe that are relevant to this appointment and also throughout the community. I believe that medical autonomy, which has been a subject of tonight, is imperative and should be respected and supported. I believe in parental rights, and I support the principle that the best advocate for children is their parents or guardian. I believe parents and age-appropriate children should be informed and have the right to refuse or accept care without coercion, and I believe that the field of medicine as a whole should be patient-centered while supporting the individual and the independence it provides. These board appointees should ensure that community voices are incorporated because I believe the people are the best guide for our department towards what is genuinely best for our residents, and that is who I believe deserves a seat at that table. I am a husband and a father of 3 wonderful kids, a small business owner, and engaged community member residing out of Marysville. I have worked over this county, and in many communities we all call home for the last 10 years. I understand and have worked with deadlines, created budgets, engaged in other operational means of running a business. I understand Robert's Rules of Orders and would engage this appointment as I do business every day with honesty and integrity because I believe decisions are always more effective when they are grounded in open dialogue and research. As a former but continuing educator, I believe education is the true guardian of facts and the truth that they support. Lastly, I would also like to reiterate that yes, according to these bylaws of this current board, there is no requirement for members or potential members such as myself to hold a medical degree or medical license. This bylaw aligns and confirms the need for diverse perspectives, community engagement, and the values in our discussions so that no ideas or concerns are ever left out. The most effective departments and advisory board appointees understand the law while respecting individuals and families to make the choices that best serve their lives. It's my hope that you would consider me to contribute to this advisory board position where both board members and community members are engaged in discussions and decisions that we all have to make. Thank you.
Sandra Richardson. Sandra Richardson.
Sandra Richardson, Fort Gratiot in St. Clair County. Been a lifelong resident here, and I just want to thank the Board of Commissioners for all the hard work they've done this past year. I'd like to thank our Health Board for all the hard work they've done. I am a resident of Fort Gratiot, and I, all this year, needed the extended help of the Health Board and of this Board of Commissioners because they had a lot of homework to do that was left undone in our township. And as much as some of the residents here in Fort Gratiot didn't understand this because it wasn't in their backyard, the problems we were having with the health concerns over the solar project that was shoved down our throat without proper, investigation to how this could affect the whole community. And the reason I bring that up is I'm pretty sure everyone in this room here would have been affected by the decision that was made in our township by elected officials that were asked by their planning commission not to put in this project. This project would be in my front yard, my backyard, my side yard, and along all the Great Lakes with the drainage problems. Some of us didn't know about it because it wasn't presented to us properly. So what this board had was a huge project and a problem ahead of them. These commissioners who have lived here in this county for years took it upon themselves to do the research, the scientific research of how this could affect and will affect us if this continues. So and according to the vote as it went, Ms. King also voted to protect us. And I thank her. And I thank Dr. Nevin for all of their hard work in doing their homework. So if you think this board we just had sat idly, they haven't sat idly. They're trying to help everyone in this county, and I do appreciate, and at any meeting we ever had at the Health Advisory Board or in this room, Dr. Nevin is one that would sit with you for hours, and whether you agreed with him or not, he wouldn't run out of the room. and be willing to discuss any matter presented before him. So thank you, commissioners, for all your hard work.
Having no other citizens, we'll move on to updates. Any updates from commissioners?
I have about a 30-minute update.
We'll hold that for your meeting.
Time is up.
Anyone else? Hearing none. Any conceptual initiatives this evening? Moving on to, no old business, moving on to new business. Item 7A, the Community Health Board appointment. This is a vote for final action. Do we have the ballots?
We do, but somebody needs to make a motion to.
I'll make a motion to, for final action for the appointment to the Community Mental Health Board.
Second. Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We will vote.
This is for community mental health?
Correct.
Oh. I got the wrong one. Here.
Well, just, she can
Write
cross out your
on
name.
that one, then. Hello. Would help read. Sorry, Chris.
That's all right. We can fix it.
Yeah, that's an easy one.
Yeah. Your name tag fell down, though.
Oh, that's okay.
That's not okay.
That's fine.
Thank you, Tom.
The appointment is Anthony Farrell.
Moving on to item 7B, the health advisory appointments. This is for final action as well. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion to have the appointments for the Health Advisory Board for final action.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We'll vote now.
The first one will be for District 4.
Okay.
Just for the record, just so people know, we vote for the district-specific appointments first, and those who don't make that appointment are then moved to the at-large, so they have a second opportunity to be considered as well at-large. Is that correct, Gary? Yes. Is that right?
Yes. Okay, District 4 is Paul Urban. Okay, now the member at large, you need to select two.
Do we have District 5?
Yeah, district.
District 5, we only have one candidate, which would be Dr. Stephen Smith.
Okay. Well, just so everyone is aware.
Yes. So
You
that
still
would
have
be-
to vote on it, or make the appointment. I'll make, can I do
You
that now, or you
actually-
want it after we take the vote? I can make a motion now to
Okay,
appoint.
you forwarded everybody that, you forwarded all the nominations.
Yes.
And Stephen Smith was the only nomination.
Gotcha.
So on this ballot, this is everybody who had applied, so you need to cross off Stephen Smith and Paul Urban.
Because they've been appointed already.
Because, yeah, they're representing district positions.
Can't hold two positions, essentially. So we cross off Paul Urban
And Stephen Smith,
and Stephen Smith,
correct. And there are two,
vote for two.
correct.
Is everyone's on here?
Yes.
Okay.
There's a name that's missing.
Who's?
Joseph Hayes?
I did not see him on the agenda.
What's that?
He's on the agenda.
Okay, then we have to add one name of, what was this?
Joseph Hayes?
Joseph Hayes.
What about Hammond?
I can't hear you.
I'm sorry?
They added Joseph Hayes.
Yes, add Joseph Hayes to the list that we have and pick two.
Correct.
There's also a Hammond that's missing.
Patricia?
Okay.
Who's missing?
Patricia Hammond.
They were not on my list.
They were submitted to the county though, correct?
They're on the agenda.
They're on the agenda list.
I will take your word for it. I do not have a blank.
So we crossed out Paul Urban, Stephen Smith, and Dukenbacher because she withdrew, but add
Right.
Patricia Hammond and Joseph Hayes.
Correct.
Then pick two, right?
Pass that back. Can only vote for two.
Math.
Okay, so the first round, we have Dawn Falk, who was selected with 5 votes. We do not have 4 votes for a second.
So now we cross off Don Falk.
So now cross off Dawn Falk,
Vote
add
for one.
Hayes and Hammond, and vote for one.
So wait a minute, cross off Don Falk, cross off, and add Hayes and Hammond.
Yes,
So-
cross off Dawn Falk,
But add, okay.
Stephen Smith, Paul Urban, add Hayes and Hammond,
Got it,
but only vote for one.
right. Hey, Steve, we want to vote. Yeah, we'd like to We want to vote. Oh, geez, you're going to vote? That's all right.
You get them all filled in already, Steve?
They stuck together, I mean. It was, we're not quite. Limit on Chad. I wasn't going to fill them all. And what's the Hoffman, the Joe Hayes?
Hayes and Hammond.
Hammond. Smile.
We still do not have concurrence. Once more? Why not?
Yes, yep, now keep going.
How many did you bring with you?
I brought 3.
Okay.
If I could ask, Chair, if we still have the same, could we postpone it or just bring up the appointment for next month, or do we want to continue till we get one tonight? You're the chair. I'm just asking a question.
I think we vote until we get one.
Yep. Okay. So again, cross off Don Falk, Paul Urban, Steve Smith, and add Joseph Hayes and Patricia Hammond.
I don't get to vote this time?
It's coming.
Oh, sorry.
Wasn't my fault. So cross off Dawn. Urban. Smith.
Yes. The vote is exactly the same. There's still no concurrence. So if we're going to do it again, you'll have to mark next to the first time because I only have 3 ballots.
So you want us to make a mark in the column next to the boxes?
Correct.
So that was the first.
Available to vote, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Correct.
8, 9,
So-
10, 11.
Gotcha.
10.
Don Falk
No,
is already gone.
9, sorry.
Don Falk.
These don't matter.
Okay, right on that?
Yeah.
Don Falk's gone. And what's anybody else?
The other ones you already did. Vote is again the exact same.
So with the vote being the same for a third time,
Yes.
4 times, can we know who the top candidates are and
Yes,
re-vote
there were 3 votes.
just
for-
on those?
Yep. Well, that's up to you. You can do it however you want. There were, the 3 top were Justine Schrader with 3, Joseph Hayes with 3, and Rachel Benelli with 1.
Okay.
Just keep making X on the number 1 ballot, just keep moving it over. It's simple.
What does that mean, this mine?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
So you're going ballot 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's first was 1, and this is ballot 2.
Yes.
reworking ballot.
Oh, sorry, that's okay. Yeah.
Zoning officer.
Yeah, we got a lot of meeting to go.
The vote is now 3-2-2.
Okay, so there's movement.
There's movement. Would you like the breakdown?
Really? I don't care. I'm not asking. The vote was 3-2-2, and she's asking if you want a breakdown.
Yes. Justine Schrader, 2, Rachel Benelli, 2, Joseph Hayes, 3.
That's 6, isn't it? It's 6, you did 7 once.
Yeah.
And we have a majority for Joseph Hayes with 5.
So it's
Thank you.
Joseph Hayes with 5, is that correct?
That is correct.
Moving on to item 7C, the MSU Extension Memorandum of Understanding Amendment.
Motion to send to full board.
Is there support?
I make a motion to send that to the full board.
Commissioner Rushing has the
Alright.
motion you would
Yep.
like to support?
Yep.
Okay, great. Any discussion? Carly is here if we want to call her up, or I saw her earlier. All right. You want to update us on the amendment?
Sure, yeah. So as I said a couple of months ago when I came and spoke about the MOA, Lori Warchuk is retiring in April. So she's been our 4-H program coordinator for the time that she's been a county employee, which is 26 years. So as we discussed, we'd like to transition that position over to an MSU paid 4-H program coordinator. Lori is the last 4-H PC in the state that is a county employee. So this switch will actually come to a cost savings for the county. And it will also just make all of our policies and procedures and all of our systems much more streamlined and efficient. So you'll see the breakdown here of the calculations. I did meet with Dina Alderdice, the finance director, a few different times. We crunched numbers very extensively. We are also requesting,
If you could keep your conversations to a minimum, or please exit. I'm having a hard time hearing Carly. Thank you.
We're also requesting a 2-week overlap of Lori and the new employee. As you can imagine, with 26 years.
Please take your conversations outside so we can take care of our business here, please.
I think it's the hallway that's making the noise.
Apologize for that.
Paul?
That's all right.
Paul Urban, could you close those doors back there for us, please? Thank you.
So Lori has a lot of knowledge and expertise that we're hoping we can overlap, and she can help train the new person before she leaves, so we can make that transition very smooth and just efficient. So also doing calculations with that overlap, that 2-week overlap will still save the county about $900 in the long run for FY26. And after that, about $17,000 per year with this transition to an MSU paid position. So nothing bad about it. Cost savings to the county in every situation.
Are there any questions for Carly? Steve?
So Carly, this MOA is to put into effect, it moves, whether it was a county employee over under the auspices of MSU?
Yes.
So that brings that person under the policy of MSU specifically because of employment?
Correct.
As opposed to, say, St. Clair County policy that may be the same or different?
Yes.
And the impetus for this change to, quote, streamline, I guess you said it streamlined everything for MSU. I've known Lori Morchuk the entire 26 years she was here. My kids are in 4-H, and she brought to that position a lot of local flavor. She was from the county. She knew all the kids. She knew everybody. Does the county retain any right to make the hire or discharge, or is that, then would that also fall, then be usurped by MSU?
Yeah, so we would have the search committee, we would hire them, and they would be under our supervision. We do have.
The answer is yes, you would then usurp the authority to then fire that person.
Correct.
And then how would you interface with the county on that? Would it be a courtesy call, or was it advisory, or you just do what you want? How do you handle that?
Yeah, I mean, we still have every year, and as requested, we would come and give an update on all of our programs and MSU Extension. Specifically for the search committee, we have at least one, I think maybe 2 local 4-H council members, as well as fair board members that'll serve on that committee.
Let's say the university had policies that differed from our county policies, and that the goals and objectives of the educational institution were different than what we might like here locally. The prevailing rule would go with whatever the university wants, correct?
Yes, since they would be an MSU employee.
And what was the impetus for this change? Well, whose brainstorm was this? Whose idea was this? Who brought this forward?
Yeah, we've tried to make this transition from county employees to MSU employees for the last probably couple of decades.
We being MSU, or we
Yes.
being?
Well,
okay.
both, yeah, both county and the university. Since with Lori's pretty extensive tenure with the county, we didn't want to pull the rug out from under her, so she would lose benefits to the county. So that's why we've waited for this natural.
I've known every director here since that time as well. This is the first time I've ever heard of it, and I've been on the county board since 2007. So this must have been more of an internal discussion perhaps, or?
I've discussed it with Carrie and Dina at least a year ago, 2 years ago, once I've heard of Lori's retirement intentions.
That wasn't shared with me as a board member or others as far as I know, but that's okay. That answers my questions. Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, we have a motion and support to move it to full board. All in favor?
Roll call, please.
Sure, we can do a roll call vote.
Commissioner Angie?
Yes.
Commissioner Trello?
Yes.
Commissioner Samasco?
No.
Commissioner Zeller?
Yes.
Commissioner Rushing?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanden Bosch,
Yes.
Commissioner Beeden.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to item 7D, the fiscal year 2026 St. Clair County Department of Veteran Affairs County Veterans Service Fund Grant. This is for final action.
I'll make motion for final action for the Veterans Grant.
Support.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to item 7E, the St. Clair County Library System Midwest Tapes Hoopla Digital Media.
Make a motion, send.
Thank you. Any support?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. There are no other human services matters tonight. There's nothing under information only.
Make a motion to receive and file.
Thank you. Any support?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Meeting is adjourned.
Nope, next, now it's the judicial committee, and then it'll be mine. And then that's when you have your opportunity. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay. It was kind of a long night. I think so. It should go pretty quick, I think.
Maybe they don't make promises.
Calling the St. Clair County Judiciary and Public Safety Committee to order. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Angie,
Present.
Commissioner Beeden,
Present.
Commissioner Trello,
Present.
Commissioner Smasko,
Present.
Commissioner Zeller,
Present.
Commissioner Rushing,
Here.
Commissioner Vanden Bosch.
Here. I need a motion to add thermalnetics agreement and for the intervention center.
I'll make that motion to add that at 7C.
Second.
Motion support. Any questions on adding it? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
Make a motion to accept the amended agenda.
Support.
Any questions on that? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Citizens to be heard. I've got Linda Kay first. And then after Linda, it'll be Martha Bailey.
Good evening. Thank you for having me. This is in regards to the dog that was murdered, St. Clair County, by St. Clair County sheriffs. If you aren't aware of it, it was the supposedly stray dog that, it was a stray dog that was horrifically shot and murdered by St. Clair County Animal Control by the building. I'm hoping that justice has prevailed and justice is brought by this. And if the video is out there, if you haven't seen it, I hope you watch it and see that when a dog growls, there's a reason. It's a communication from an animal, not always aggression. It is signaling fear for discomfort, fear, sometimes territory, asking to step away. It's by a trigger. And it's saying, what should one do when a dog growls? What would a person do when a dog growls? You should step away. But that's not what they did. They stepped forward. And these are supposed to be trained professionals. They engaged that animal that was just there looking for help from police officers that are there to serve and protect. It took an oath to help those in need, and that dog was in need. If animal control was not on duty, why didn't they call somebody who could help? Rescues, others who could wait. That dog was sitting perfectly fine. I own a rescue. I rescue completely dangerous dogs off the streets of Detroit. If we wore body cams, we would be laughed out of the rescue community. If I was wearing a body cam and turned that in as a dangerous dog, that wasn't. We failed. The police officers failed. I'm asking, please, can we look at this as a community and do better? Can we make those officers responsible? Can Animal Control of St. Clair County have people on staff through the night? Can we do better by the Sheriff's Department? Please come together and hold those sheriffs accountable and staff your animal control. Please, and bring justice for
You need to
the
wrap it
animal.
up.
Thank you.
Martha. After Martha, it's Michelle Brown.
I'm Martha Bailey, Shelby Township, Michigan. Retired Utica Schools employee, and I've worked with animals for most of my life. And I came here in hopes that some kind of a justice, accountability, I hope you have the power to do something about this. The dog's name was named Hercules, to give it a little bit of respect. The dog was picked up by kind people that thought they were trying to help this dog with no problems, no issues, until the cops got there. But the cops, I think the dog knew that the cops were going to kill it. Dogs have a sense that you don't even realize, because I have 3 dogs of my own, and they have a sense when they're in danger, or they have a sense when their owner's in danger. The cops escalated the situation instead of de-escalating. The dog knew it was going to be murdered and had to fight for its life. 2 catch poles choking it until it passed out, dragged across concrete. Too scared to walk. When it came to, they shot it. I mean, can you believe it? I don't. They shot it for their own entertainment, I guess. I don't know if you want to know the names of the cops. I have it. It's Dan Bucci and Nick Singleton. I don't blame other cops for protecting the killers, because their job could be very dangerous if the killers were crossed. It's time to clean up the department. Their acts were criminal and should be prosecuted according to the Michigan law. Abuse should not be tolerated in this state. Serve and protect sounds like a joke here with St. Clair County. I'm sure Port Huron Police is probably a lot nicer and a lot better, but I wouldn't want to run into St. Clair County, because if they'll do this to a dog, what would they do to you? What would they do to humans? It's just so horrible. I couldn't even watch the video. I took a lot of my knowledge from DAWG, as to what happened there, because the people that rescued this dog came forward to dog and explained the situation and how non-aggressive it was. But anyway, thank you for your time.
Michelle Brown. And then Alicia Foots next.
Hi, Michelle Brown, 3484 Ravenswood, Port Huron Township. A dog should never have to die for a system to notice its own cracks. Yet here we are mourning a life that didn't have to be lost. This wasn't just a mistake, it was a warning. And if we don't change the way our county responds to animals in crisis, then this tragedy becomes a pattern instead of a turning point. Families who may one day need this service deserve to trust that their pets will be met with care, not danger. We owe that dog and every future family who might rely on this system better than silence.
we owe them change. So I hope that you take into consideration some of these cracks that are happening in this system. Thanks.
Alyssa Foot. And then Robert Wilson's next.
Hello, my name's Alyssa, and I live in Macomb County, bordering on St. Clair County in Chesterfield, but I don't think you have to live in a county to address the injustices that are occurring, especially being so close by. I'm deeply concerned about the widespread news of a fatal shooting of a dog by a St. Clair police deputy on the evening of December 13th. I understand that social media posts do not equate an investigation. At times, they can often be reliable. However, the video that was posted on the official page of the St. Clair Sheriff's Office was not only disturbing, but pointed out some clear concerns in the handling of this canine. Despite their attempts to blur, mute, and edit, it is clear that this animal was restrained by 2 officers using slip collars, or otherwise known as choke chains. You can tell by watching the video, which I did, for several minutes to the point of asphyxiation where the dog is not even responding. After that point, you can see the dog's dragged behind a dumpster and it is shot. Through the verbiage in between the muting, you can understand that the officers are aware of what they're doing. You can hear one officer ask the other, "Did you call animal control?" And the other one proceeds to laugh and says no. Animal control was never contacted. I understand that officers have challenging jobs. We're not seeing what they see on a daily basis. We're not in their shoes. However, I expect police officers to exhaust all interventions available, especially when a gunshot is clearly not the answer. If a dog is to the point of non-responsiveness, it's not a threat. The officers that are handling that animal do not experience repercussions and are still actively working. There was a point when the sheriff's office was also declining people to report their concerns. I urge you that it should be considered that police should have mandatory animal training if they do not already, if they will not contact animal control for concerns that are obviously out of their scope at this time. I urge you to consider how unethical the situation was handled and formally release a statement on our behalf if you understand and agree how unethical the situation was handled and how it should have been handled. Thank you.
Robert Wilson. And then it's going to be Tanya Compton.
Ladies and gentlemen of the board, I'm up here regarding the same incident that happened over there at Animal Control December 13th. I don't think you need me to tell you how that went down. If you want to see it, you'll watch the video. What I'm here with is to ask that we've identified a problem. Let's see what we can do to fix this problem. There's one animal control officer for St. Clair County. He can't be expected to work 24/7. We need additional funding so that the county can hire an additional animal control officer. I noticed that recently Animal Control posted that they are hiring a vet tech and taking on a couple more volunteers. That's a step in the right direction, but they're not going to allow those volunteers there at night. We need 24/7 coverage. In addition, I'd like to see some funding directed to the St. Clair County Sheriff's Department so that our deputies can get proper training in how to handle these animals in the course of their daily activities. You know, I'd love to say it's all about the safety of our animals, but at the end of the day, those deputies acted inappropriately in the court of public opinion, but they had to respond to the situation they were in. Why did they feel that way? I believe it was lack of training. A little bit of funding to help with some training, we can avoid these kind of situations. And I can tell you that this is not the first incident that's happened in the last year. There was one back in August that I'm aware of. So let's take the problem that we have, and instead of talking about the problem, let's talk about solutions. I think that the first solution is an increase in funding to help address the shortcomings and the coverage that we have, and increase the training for our officers so that they can go home safe at the end of the day. Those officers didn't shoot that dog because they wanted something to do. Those officers, for whatever reason, misread the situation and were scared for themselves. We can fix that with training. Thank you for your time.
Tanya? And then next will be Carol Miller.
Hi, everybody. Sorry, I have laryngitis. It's not contagious. I promise y'all it's not contagious. So, like everybody else, we're here revolving around the December 13th shooting behind animal control. Like everybody said, basically, everybody's right on target. We're coming to you with concerns about what's going on in this community revolving law enforcement and the safety for our animals as well as the citizens. So we're coming to you now with requests to give these officers more training, or even I will volunteer at night. I will personally take my time and I will volunteer at animal control at night. I've been training and showing dogs since I was 14. I am 39. And I can personally tell you, the way that dog was handled was definitely a use of force. It was clear as day, a use of force. When that dog had the first catch pull on it, that's like putting a prisoner in handcuffs and beating the crap out of him. The dog already had a catch pull on it, it was already contained. We need change. It's a new year, we need change. We're coming to you because you guys are the only ones who can make this change. We need funding for these officers to be trained, and we need better people to be able to handle these animals. Because I'm telling you, I live 1 mile from animal control. I own 3 rescue pit bulls. And I'll tell you what, I, as well as the rest of these people who are sitting here today, will vouch for that. We will not let somebody trigger happy come up to our dogs. That is the second dog shot. I heard it on the scanner. 8 months ago, same shift, 1 shot fired, dog dispatched. December 13th, 1 shot fired, dog dispatched. The fear that goes into these animals, you guys wouldn't know with just looking at it. To you guys, it would be aggression. But the people who are trained to deal with these can clearly see the fear that was involved with this. Change needs to start. You guys are the only ones who can get that going for us to help. We're coming to you. We want change, and we want to know that our animals and that we are going to be safe at night with our babies. We can't do this alone, so we're coming to you. And like I told the Sheriff's Department, we'll keep coming back to you until a change is made. Thank you.
Carol Miller. Then after Carol Miller will be Maxine Wood.
You guys have a busy evening. As many of you know, I've attended these meetings consistently for the past 10 years and have spoken candidly on animal control matters, both when progress was being made and when serious concerns needed to be addressed. We are again facing a significant issue. However, with recent changes in leadership, we also have a clear opportunity for meaningful and lasting change. This moment calls for action, accountability, and a willingness to improve, not avoidance or delay. Positive change does not come from outside political influence, nor from division or hostility. It comes from engaged citizens stepping forward, as many have done tonight, to offer constructive solutions, insight, and a voice for those who do not have one. Our community understands its needs, and those local voices must remain central to this process. I understand that the Board of Commissioners does not oversee the Sheriff's Department beyond budgetary authority. However, animal control does fall within your responsibility. There are issues that can be addressed with practical solutions, thoughtful restructuring, and minimal impact to taxpayers. Progress will require re-examining past decisions and being open to approaches that better serve both the public and the animals in our care. Animal control should operate as a department focused on animal welfare with sheriff involvement limited only to situations where it's legally required. I have worked collaboratively with the commissioner on several realistic, cost-conscious solutions and have additional ideas that can be supported by the community. Our goal should be an animal control department this county can be proud of, one centered on humane treatment, transparency, education, and positive outcomes. Commitments were previously made to the community, including the development of a trap-neuter return program. A viable, low-cost proposal supported by community members and the former liaison was in place to move forward, but did not due to prior board decisions. Revisiting initiatives like this would demonstrate follow-through and good faith. It was also noted that around 80% of the animals brought to the animal control are from Port Huron. This is an issue that the citizens of Port Huron need to start addressing with their city council to form solutions, as this is deeply concerning. Recent events that have been deeply troubling brought national attention, not local, but national attention. Regardless of personal viewpoints, no living creature should be subjected to the treatment that was witnessed. Our county is capable of better, and this is the moment to show accountability, compassion, and leadership. We've asked Mike Wendling to look into this horrific action seriously, and if he cannot commit to this, to hand off to someone that will. Finally, meaningful change requires community involvement. Our volunteer group stands ready to work collaboratively with the Board of Commissioners and Animal Control. I encourage citizens who care about humane treatment and responsible solutions to join us. Your time, your voice, and your willingness will truly help make a big difference. Together, we can build an animal control system that reflects the values of this community and earns the public trust. Thank you.
Maxine Wood. Maxine Wood. And then it'll be Alana Reynolds.
Hi, I'm Maxine Wood from Birchville Township, and I'm here about the dog as well. And I know you already have received a letter from me to each one of you regarding how I felt about the terror this dog experienced. And I was under the impression that you do not control the sheriff's department, only the purse strings. And what I'd like to propose is that there is another animal control where it can be a 24/7 operation, where we don't have to depend on the police unless it's absolutely essential, where the animal control cannot control the situation. I think what happened that night should have never happened. I'm a member, and my past dog was a therapy dog for Love on a Leash, and I'm very experienced with all different types of animals. I've seen therapy dogs where they get spooked and they'll growl. God forbid, they would never hurt a flea, and yet that dog, what happened that night, that growl was an indicator, and that police officer did not handle it well. An animal control person who's been educated, they will know how to handle this situation. Our animal control is not supported enough. I mean, they're constantly needing extra food, towels, help all the time. Why? Because they're on a tight budget. They're doing the best they can. Now, I would like to go back to the sheriff's department. I had gone there on the 21st to file a formal complaint. I was told, no, the Board of Commissioners, that's who you have to file your complaint. So I went back to my car, and I had been in the sheriff's department for quite some time till they even told me that. So I called Board of Commissioners, and I was told, nope, you have to file with the sheriff's department. So now I go back in there. They told me to sit down and have a seat. I waited. Finally, I had an appointment. I said, well, I'm going to have to leave and come back. I did. And then I came back to the third time to the sheriff's department, and Officer Chris Schwarzkopf told me, we only take one complaint and it's already been filed. And I said, but that wasn't filed by me. And he refused to even speak to me. All he said is, "Are you recording this?" I said, "No, I'm not." And he's like, "We're done here." And that was it. And I'm like, that's how we're treating our community? We're just being ignored by them. So I do ask you, please consider opening up the budget a little bit more for animal control because they're trying so hard.
You'd wrap it up.
And
Thank you.
thank you very much.
Alana, and then it'll be Melissa Nicholson.
Hello, my name's Elena Reynolds. I've lived in Port Huron for most of my life, honestly. I live on the south end, Midtown, whatever you want to call it. And I've had a bone to pick with animal control for a while now. I understand that they are underfunded. I understand that there's only one officer. I understand all the challenges that they face, and I do appreciate the good works that they do, because they do. However, I've had so many issues with my neighbors. We have a very rental-filled city, and I've had a lot of issues with the neighbors and their neglected animals. I've tried to call. I had a cat that was abandoned outside, just thrown outside. They'd had it for years, just left it. And I needed to know what I could do. What can I legally do? Can I just take this cat, or am I gonna get prosecuted for it? I tried to call animal control and heard nothing. Every single time. I left messages after message, and I was at my wit's end. So I finally emailed, and I finally got a response after seeing Facebook post after Facebook post. "Oh, please call us, please call us. We'll help you." But they can't. They would love to, I'm sure, but they can't because they don't have the budget. I'm sure most of you have pets. You probably have a dog. And this shooting on December 13th was absolutely inexcusable. There's no reason for it. That dog was terrified. And I don't know about you, but when I was little, my mother told me how to approach a dog because she knew that I would. Little old me, I loved animals. I would go up to anything with 4 legs. So she told me how to approach an animal. Yet this officer couldn't approach a dog better than a 4-year-old. There's no reason for it. And here I am today because this is just the beginning. I didn't even know about the other shooting, so apparently there's 2. But this could be anybody's dog. This could be your dog. If it got out for some reason and someone cornered it, this could be your dog. This could be my rescue Frenchie that I just adopted, who has issues with men because of the breeder that she was with. She'll bite. She will. If she gets out and someone cornered her, she absolutely would. So, and that's her experience. If a random man came up to me and tried to grab me, I'd bite him too. You know, it's inexcusable. So we need more funding. That's abundantly clear. I will be doing more research on effective ways for this. There's also a serious feral cat problem in Port Huron. I love cats. I have 3 myself. But the ferals are peeing on my house, okay? It's a problem. And we need to address it with funding. Thank you.
Melissa, and then next Mitzi Ramsey.
So my name is Melissa Nicholson, and I'm a resident of St. Clair County for the past 53 years. Now you all know my age, anyway. And I am coming to talk to you also about the dog shooting that happened on December 13th. I did email the prosecuting attorney's office after it happened with my concerns, but I never got a response. So here I am. So it's with profound distress I'm talking to you about the deeply disturbing incident involving the death of a dog at the hands of the sheriff's deputies. I am formally requesting a thorough and transparent investigation into the circumstances and actions that led to this tragic and reprehensible outcome. The accounts surrounding the dog's treatment and death, particularly the use of excessive and lethal force, raise serious questions about the deputies' conduct, their adherence to established protocols for animal encounters, and their overall judgment. It is truly sickening to consider the manner in which this situation was handled, Whether this stemmed from inadequate training in animal control, a severe lack of empathy, or a disregard for animal welfare, the result is utterly unacceptable and reflects poorly on the department and our county. One can only imagine the abject terror that the dog must have endured in his final moments. Instead of employing compassionate de-escalation techniques, patience, or seeking appropriate animal control assistance for a frightened and confused animal, deputies resorted to brutal force, leading to his strangulation and subsequent shooting. This represents a profound failure of duty and a deeply concerning display of cruelty. This incident sends a chilling message regarding the capacity for empathy and the appropriate application of force within the department. If officers are capable of inflicting such suffering upon a vulnerable and terrified animal, it inevitably raises grave concerns about how they might approach situations involving agitated or mentally distressed human beings. The public's trust in law enforcement is fundamentally predicated on the expectation of professionalism, restraint, and a steadfast commitment to de-escalation, even in the most challenging circumstances. Actions such as these erode that trust. Fostering fear rather than security within the community, we rely on them to protect. The inhumane treatment and tragic death of this dog must not be overlooked or dismissed. It demands full accountability, immediate action, and a comprehensive review of departmental policies and training procedures concerning animal interactions. The community, myself included, it calls for justice for this dog and for a clear demonstration that such a horrifying incident will never be repeated. We expect transparency, a thorough investigation, and concrete assurances that meaningful changes will be implemented to prevent future occurrences. Thank you.
Misty.
Hello, my name is Misty Ramsey. I am from Macomb County, Shelby Township. I did not plan on speaking, and I'm not a good speaker, so I'm just going to try to get through this. I am a dog worshiper. I think dogs are one of the greatest things that man screwed up and created. They are a wonderful service to our society in so many roles. Very, very, very helpful to all of us. What I'm always confused about is I don't have any experience in law enforcement or animal control. I do volunteer with a lot of animals, specifically pit bulls down at the Detroit Animal Control. But I did work for 6 years with horses. And in those 6 years, I have been stepped on, kicked, bitten, crushed, had a horse try to knock me unconscious by bashing me repeatedly over the head with her jaw. I have had to subdue many animals that were trying to attack me for various reasons, because they had bad training, because they were afraid. I have never even injured one, let alone killed one. I weigh 125 pounds. So I can never understand why these officers who are in a group of 2 or 3, and they have all of these non-lethal utensils at their disposal, can't seem to subdue a 60-pound animal without killing it. When they've got it on 2 catch poles, when they have all of these resources, or they're just not smart enough to understand that they are not equipped for the situation and back out of it, because I've done that many times. I've walked up and said, I can't handle this. I need to get somebody who can, because this is going to end badly if I try to handle it. Now, if these men are too incompetent to know when to do that, or to handle a situation if they're going to shove themselves into it either way, that's an embarrassment for the county, for everybody involved, and it is potentially very dangerous to have men who don't care about what the protocol is, what logic says to do, what even common sense of anybody that knows. If you walk up to a growling dog in a vehicle and you stick your hand in, guess what they're going to do? They're going to bite you. If you don't even have that much common sense, a badge and a gun, probably not the things you should be given. Thank you.
Any updates from commissioners? Hearing none. Moving on. We have no conceptual initiatives and no old business. New business, Homeland Security Advisory Council membership appointment.
Motion to send to full board.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Contract extension for inmate pharmaceuticals, clinical solutions.
Move to send to full board.
Support.
Any questions on that one? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. 7C, Thermalnetics Agreement for Intervention Center Cooling Tower Cleaning and Retrofit for final action.
Make a motion for final action for approval.
Second.
Any questions on this one? Roll call on that? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Angie?
Yes.
Commissioner Beeden?
Yes.
Commissioner Torello?
Yes.
Commissioner Samasco?
Yes.
Commissioner Zeller?
Yes.
Commissioner Rushing?
Yes.
Commissioner Vandenbosch?
Yes. Any other judiciary or public safety matters? Hearing none. Information only.
Motion to receive and file.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Motion to
Adjournment.
adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can we pause for a bathroom break? All right. Sorry, yeah, wait, just a couple more minutes. We're gonna pause for a bathroom break. Thank you. Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry.
We'll hurry.
I'll try to, believe me, I'll try to get through this.
Well, at this time, I'd like to call the Board of Commissioners, Environmental Public Works Committee meeting to order. Can I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Angie?
Present.
Commissioner Beeden?
Present.
Commissioner Samasco?
Present.
Commissioner Zeller?
Present.
Commissioner Rushing?
Still here.
Commissioner Vandenbosch?
Here.
Commissioner Torello?
Here, any additions, deletions, and changes to the agenda?
I'll make a motion to accept the agenda as presented.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I have one citizen wishing to be heard this evening, and it is Mr. Jesse Parker.
Jesse Parker, China Township. I'm here representing Starville Road in China Township between Putty Gut and Lindsay Road. I got a couple of letters here, one from our township supervisor at the time, in 1975, and another one from the Road Commission in 1975. Tony Pizzo writes, Township Board requests that all presently certified roads in our township remain certified. This applies to Starville Road in particular. We feel this road will play an important role in our future development of rear acreage. And the Road Commission wrote back 4 days later, Dear Mr. Pizzo, this letter will acknowledge receipt of China Township's communication regarding certification of Starville Road. Act 51 of Public Act 1951 as amended, which governs the certification of county road states. I hereby certify that all the roads on which lengths have been entered along the road bands of the attached township and the large section maps are under the jurisdiction of the St. Clair County Road Commission. I further certify that these local roads shown hereon are normally open to automobile traffic between June and November. The above statement is that the chairman of the Road Commission, and it is impossible for him to certify Starville Road because it is impossible for automobiles to traverse this road. This road, Starville Road, when improved for automobile traffic, can be recertified as a county road. Now, that bottom sentence here, can be recertified as a county road. There's 23 houses on Starville Road now. And with all the traffic, Amazon, FedEx, all the utilities, there's hundreds of cars that traverse Starville Road every day, any given day. And the fire chief in St. Clair came out there and looked at Starville Road, and he said it's a safety hazard. They might not even be able to get down Starville Road. You can talk to him. I think his name is Westrick.
Dave Westrick.
Dave Westrick, yeah. And the post office, they refuse to deliver mail down there when certain conditions apply to the road. They get letters sent out here, so. The time has come to recertify Starville Road. Just as the Road Commission said they would, when it's traversable. There's 23 houses, and there's another one going up in the spring. That'd be 24 houses on Starville Road. The time has come, and they said they would do it, right here in this letter. I give Commissioner Torello copies of the letters for all you guys to read. And that's it, I guess. And will I get feedback from this meeting, or how does this work? Can you tell me? Anybody will get back to me or not, or?
You got to wrap it up. That's up to your commissioner, right?
Okay.
Okay. Any questions?
No, thank you. Thank you. And you know how to get hold of Dave then? All right, good. All right. Appreciate that. Any updates from commissioners this evening? None. Conceptual initiatives, we do have one. It's the landfill supplemental environmental plan development. I don't know who wanted to put that on. Did you want that on, Steve? For the
Actually,
conceptual
I talked to Tom last, in December, one of these loose ends, we were talking about the transition into the new administration. And I did ask Tom to put that on as a discussion item because Gary can confirm this, but I think we've got 1 year from the date of the settlement to do a SEP. Former Commissioner Felix had a great interest in this, and I reached out to Usikowski from Kimball, and he hadn't done a lot on it. I know our landfill director has looked at it and considered some things, but I wanted to put it on as, let's not, we have it's a time clock's run on that, right? $175,000 worth of fines can be converted to a special project somewhere within the county, Kimball Township, otherwise. Can you tell us about that, Gary, where we're at on that? What do you recommend for the board?
Yeah, I talked to Carrie about it, I'd say 2 months ago. She said that, she was gonna try to get started on it, probably Tom would end up dealing with it, so, yeah, we gotta get moving.
When's the drop dead date, just off the top of your head? Do you know, Gary, when
Yeah,
that
I think
settlement?
it's July.
July, July. And what's the process for that, then? We'd have to submit it for approval to Eagle, or is
Yep,
it just?
we come up with a project that's essentially environmentally friendly, does something to improve the environment, air quality would be a good thing, because our issues were about air quality. And we submit it to them, and then if they agree, they approve. It'd be good to do it in conjunction with another local government or a governmental body like Kimball. We submit it, they approve it, and then we get a waiver of that penalty and instead get to spend the money.
Do you have any familiarity with this, Gary? Could you recommend a process maybe for us, or what do you think would be the way to keep this on track?
Yeah, what I'll do is, I've got to pull out, I have the regs on the SEP program, I got it sitting on my desk, and I know what's in the consent agreement, and what I'll do is pull that out, get an email to Tom, kind of outlining how I see it moving or how it should move, and then I'll copy all the commissioners.
Can we keep this on the agenda for Public Works, every month until we get this handled? I think that'd be good. How people feel about that, just keep rolling it over. So
Just clarification, we have to have a plan identified and submitted to Eagle
Eagle, yeah.
by July.
Yeah, they approve.
Well, it's got to be approved. We got to have something approved prior to July.
Yeah,
Well-
I think we have to submit it by July.
So how long is their approval process? Well, then the drop dead date isn't July, it's before July.
It's our drop dead date.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
Yeah,
if we miss that target, we're out. We can't
We have a
use
year
that.
to submit, we don't submit, then we just have to wait.
They got $175,000 of money. I think we paid that in an escrow, Gary. Is that how that works? We paid it and they're holding it, or have we not paid it?
No, I think it's deferred until.
Deferred. So if we don't do this, we write the state of.
Yeah, but I think I'm still confused. So to be clear, we have to have a plan developed and proposed to Eagle that they have approved by July.
I don't think so, I think it has to be submitted by July.
Okay.
It's been a while. since
Okay.
I've
But if they don't approve it, it'd be nice to have something, a little more wiggle room there.
Well, I guess the reason I ask is because, from road commission experience, Eagle is not quick on approving plans. So,
No,
for what it's worth.
I think the discussion was, we have to have it submitted, correct? And then they'll take whatever time they take.
Okay.
It probably won't be fast.
Because they are Eagle, that's all you gotta say, especially down in our area.
I just thought it's one of these loose ends that we.
No, it's good to bring it up, because we could run out of time and kind of sleep through it. It would not
All
be
right, so
good.
Tom, it's on your plate now, buddy.
Sounds good. And we've kind of, dove into, what other communities or what other SEP programs are being done throughout the state. I mean, it's air filtration projects, it's lighting replacements, everything that you would expect, to come from Eagle as part of that. So there's some opportunity, there's just some current projects that are being done throughout the state, which may be a good point of comparison for what's available for us to do locally.
This would be a countywide, anything countywide, correct, Gary? But in that it relates to the landfill and affects Kimball Township mostly, I would look to say maybe do something in Kimball first if we can. But should we open it up to other townships to say, is there some other specialist project, environmental project that might work? Is there?
I think it could be anywhere, but they're going to be looking at something near the landfill, I think, and.
Kimball sounds
probably
great. Kimball sounds great.
Obviously, if it doesn't, they don't get, I reached out to the supervisor, and he's interested in there. They have had some discussions, but again, there's nothing really, popping up here, so my thing would be, hey, look, we're gonna do something.
Yeah, we got to get moving.
All right, that's it. That's my conceptual initiative.
Moving on, no old business, new business, 7A, which is the contract approval, Natural Community Services, Columbus County Park, Forestry Mulching.
Motion to send full board.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item B, contract approval, Wildlife Wetland Solutions, Columbus County Park, herbicide and seeding.
Move to send to full board.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item C, contract approval, R&D Folgerson Construction, North Channel County Park Operations Center renovations.
Motion to move to full board.
Thank you.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item D, contract approval, Great Lakes Power and Lighting, North County Channel Park electrical work.
Make a motion to send to full board.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item E, contract approval, airport pavement, crack repair and paintings, marking with Mead and Hunt.
Motion to move to full board.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item F, airport lease, T8 private hangar lease for Robert and George Lixie.
Move to send to full board.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Contract approval, what is that? Univar Solutions, Smith Creek Landfill?
Motion to send to full board.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item H, contract approval for Shirkey Electric Flare 3 for the Smith Creek landfill.
Make a motion to send to full board.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item I, contract amendment for Michigan wastewater Smith Creek landfill.
Make a motion to send to full board.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item J, Resolution 2601, designated contact person of the designated planning agency for the materials management plan. Can I get a motion?
Motion to send full board.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Smith Creek landfill activities report, there is none. Any other environmental matters this evening? None. Information only. The
Make a motion to receive and file the park financial documents.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Receive and file packets.
So moved.
Support.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion adjourned.
Call the order of the St. Clair County Board of Commissioners Community and Economic Development Subcommittee. Can I have a roll call?
Commissioner Angie,
Present.
Commissioner Beeden,
Present.
Commissioner Trello,
Present.
Commissioner Samasco, Commissioner Rushing,
Still here.
Commissioner Vandenbach.
Here.
Commissioner Zeller.
Present. There are no items on the agenda, and I have no notes for citizens to be heard. So at this time, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I will make that motion.
Support.
That's the fastest ever. That's going on the record books. Here you go.
We didn't vote, that's okay.
Calling to order the Ways and Means Committee. Can I have roll call, please?
Commissioner Beeden,
Present.
Commissioner Trello,
Present.
Commissioner Samasco,
Present.
Commissioner Zeller,
Present.
Commissioner Rushing,
Still here.
Commissioner Vandenbach,
Here.
Commissioner Angie.
Present. Item number 2, any additions, deletions, changes to the agenda?
Make motion to accept it as presented.
Support.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 3, I have 2 slips here with absent subject matters, so I kept them for myself, for citizens to be heard. I had an Amy Nelson. Doesn't appear Amy is with us any longer. The next person, Cynthia Bankston. Doesn't appear Cynthia is with us anymore either. Thank you. Oh, excuse me, there is one more. Randy McCracken,
He's with the other two.
who's also, yes, departed. Thank you. So, moving on, number 4, I don't believe there are any updates. Does anyone have any updates? Number 5, no conceptual initiatives. Number 6, there is no old business. Number 7, new business. A, statement of qualifications list, architect and engineers.
Motion send to full board?
Support.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. B, Resolution 2603, Collective Bargaining Agreement Corrections Sergeant's Wage Reopener for final action. I think Mr. Fletcher had some information on that.
Yes, so what happened here is you ratified a collective bargaining agreement for this corrections group that covered 2 years, 2025, 2026. The direction from the board was for positions that were difficult to recruit and retain and that were underpaid based on comparables that we use, that they could be given an equity adjustment beyond the normal 2-3% that I think it was 3 and 2.5 that the units were given. In this bargaining unit, the lieutenants, we had comparables. It was recruit, retain, and they qualified that way, and we had comparables that showed that they should move 2 steps, and we agreed to that. The sergeants, we didn't have the comparable information because the contracts in our comparables that had sergeant classifications, there weren't enough settled yet for us to have the comparables. So what we did is told them we would agree to a reopener, which we discussed with all of you in a closed session before you voted on it. And if the comparables came in to support the additional step, they would get it. If the comparables came in and they didn't support it, they wouldn't get it. And Dina has been tracking the comparables. They came in and supported it, all of them. And so we agreed to, we made good on our promise that we made on your behalf. And we signed an agreement to give them the additional step because the comparables supported it. And it was consistent with the ratified contract, but you have to vote on it, obviously, to put it into effect.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion for final action.
Support.
Any discussion?
Roll call, please.
Can I get a roll call?
Yeah, it's money.
Commissioner Beeden?
Yes?
Commissioner Trello?
Yes.
Commissioner Samasco?
Yes.
Commissioner Zeller?
Yes.
Commissioner Rushing?
Yes.
Commissioner Vandenboe?
Yes.
Commissioner Angie?
Yes. Item C, Resolution 2602, designating authorized signatories for the County of St. Clair.
Motion to move to full board?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. D, Sheriff's Office Manning Table Revision, Custodian 2.
Make a motion to send to the full board.
Support?
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Number 8, any other ways and means matters? Hearing none, moving on to information only. A,
Make a motion to receive and file A and B.
Do I have a second? Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 10?
Motion to receive and file packet.
Support?
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Support.